Hello, my good people of YouTube. I have come to you with yet another presentation for you. This time, it is to match the holiday season, where I will be simulating reindeer games 100 times. So what am I doing?
Well,
since it is the season,
the holiday season,
I simulated the cast of Big Brother's reindeer games on the Brant Steele's Big Brother simulation 100 times, so that we can find the most festive contestants out there. You might be asking, does this follow the reindeer games format?
no.
Unfortunately, Brant Steele does not have the iconic reindeer games as a simulation. And so we are just running this as a regular, boring Big Brother season. But you can kind of think of it as like, what would have happened if they had taken the Reindeer Games cast and made it like a mini All-Stars cast. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Plus it's festive.
We're using their Reindeer Game photos, where they're very festive. Did I include the elves?
Yes.
Tiffany, Jordan, and Derek X are all included in this simulation. I thought it would be more interesting to include a cast of 12 instead of 9. Plus, I endlessly love the elf photo of Derek X, and so we have to include that in this simulation, let's be honest here. Any other important things to know before we get into this?
Yes.
First of all, I added the relationships based off of what they would have been before Reindeer Games, okay? We want to simulate this as if Reindeer Games had not happened and they are just playing this 100 times with no connection or correlation with each other.
Okay.
And so because of that, Brittany and Nicole haven't squashed their beef yet from The Amazing Race. Danielle never felt betrayed by Brittany because that happened in Reindeer Games. And so that's what the relationships are reflected upon. So keep that in mind. The rankings of these contestants are based off of a rich tapestry, in the words of Corey Wurtenberger, of a bunch of different averages and rankings that I do throughout this thing. They're based off of statistics. They are not based off of my own personal biases, unfortunately. Trust me, you'll understand. If this was based off of my own personal opinion, we would not have the order that we have here. Not that it ends super poorly, but you'll see very quickly what I mean by this. And lastly, I just want to put out a disclaimer that I do not have the best memory. I do indeed have an ADA recognized disability that does affect my memory. It's called ADHD. So please do not yell at me if you do not agree with the stats that I set.
I'm trying my best.
But I only have so much time in the world, and I can't rewatch Reindeer Games on Paramount Plus, and so I really don't remember how some of these people perform. So I'm just doing the best I can, okay? It's a show called Reindeer Games. It's not that serious, okay? It's the holiday season. Show forgiveness. So anyway, let's continue. Let's continue with the last ranked person from my simulation's findings. And it is indeed Brittany. And this is what I mean. It's like, I love Brittany hands down. She's one of my favorite Big Brother contestants of all time. And she got last in all of this by a pretty big long shot, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it was pretty disappointing, especially considering that, she did really well in my Big Brother 14 simulations. So it's not that she's a slouch, but I do fear that the beef with Nicole Franzel is what killed her here. If Nicole Franzel doesn't like you, you're gonna have a rough time. So luckily, the real life Brittany knew this and squashed her beef with Nicole very early on in Reindeer Games. But unfortunately, I don't think that this simulation version of Brittany knew that she had to do that in order to survive Reindeer Games. And therefore, she ranked 12th here. So I did set relationships with her. Clearly, Nicole Franzel is a medium dislike. They had large beef in Amazing Race, and Nicole Franzel really hates Janelle especially, and Janelle is Brittany's best friend. And so you can see where the issues here would come. I did set a slight bond with Danielle, Frankie, and Jordan. And I did that because she did do that little BB25 preview with Danielle and Frankie. And so I figured she probably created a small bond with the two of them because of that. And then I set a slight bond with Jordan for really no other reason than I kind of felt bad that I didn't think Jordan knew anyone here. So like they were the two blonde Southern girls like back to back on each other's seasons. So I figured they probably have talked to each other at least once. If not, maybe twice. So I thought I would give them a slight bond, if only to give Jordan a relationship. As far as her stats go, I gave her average for general and endurance. I gave her great for mental quiz because I do think that was her strength in reindeer games. And I gave her terrible for physical, mostly just because she's so small. It makes things hard for her. And I don't think she was terrible in like her beginning seasons, but even then she wasn't like fantastic at the physical comps. But now that she's older, she's had 3 kids, and she is a very tiny human, I figured I'd give her terrible for physical. For her other attributes, I gave her a great strategic ability. I think she's a pretty solid strategic player. She's average loyalty level. I don't think she's untrustworthy, but she certainly plays for herself. I think Brittany Haynes has one of the best social games of Big Brother history, and so I gave her Social Butterfly. She is just such a likable person. I love Brittany Haynes. And I do give her easily angered for temperament, just because she's kind of sassy, but I do think perhaps I'm pushing it a little bit with that. But
I don't know.
So this is how her placement breakdown broke down. She did not get to the end very much. She got targeted early on very often. Really like this 11th place spot, she was pretty safe. But other than that, she was targeted pretty hard. I don't really know why. I can only imagine it's because of Nicole Franzel, to be honest. As far as her stats go, as we saw on the show, she got 5th place in the actual reindeer games. In her original seasons of 12 and 14, she got 4th and 8th place. Her average placement in these simulations was 7.63. Her mode was 8th place, which she got 14% of the time. Her median was 8. The times that she won, she only won 1 time, which again, I was pretty shocked by. Because I don't know why they're targeting Brittany Haynes of all people. That seems like a weird choice. And she was only in the finale 6 times. So she did lose more than she won. But also, that's not a very large set of data. Her win percentage in the final 2 was 16.67% of the time. She made jury 71% of the time. And she would make the final 2 while in jury 8.45% of the time. Here is her percentage breakdown. Yeah, she really couldn't get like past 7th place very often. She couldn't get past the early jury stage very often, which again, I find very surprising. She's just too likable, I guess. And also, Nicole Franzel, if she does not like you, she will make sure that you get out. I'm just saying. I think that's where all this comes from. Then, unfortunately, for 11th place, we have Danielle Reyes, the legend, the icon, from BB3 and 7. Again, this is my own personal opinion. This is not how I'd be ranking it. However, I can't manipulate the stats like that. I'm sorry.
I have integrity.
Kind of. Yeah, frankly, I was kind of surprised that this happened. I did give her 2 relationships with Brittany and Frankie. Again, they did the little premiere thing, and so I figured they probably talked at least a little bit. I kind of wasn't entirely sure what to do with her competition stats, if I'm being honest. From what I remember, I don't think she performed that well in reindeer games with like the physical stuff, but like she was mostly like getting by with like her social and strategic game, I think. I don't remember very well, but I did give her decent for general, terrible for physical, and decent for endurance. Part of this is also, I like to think of these stats as being like relative with each other. And so, I mean, especially with the people who are on the show, I think this is fair. You know, maybe if she was competing on a regular season and like the comp abilities were a little more mixed across the board, I wouldn't be this harsh. But that's what I have. I did give her great for mental quiz though, so don't worry. She's got some strengths. For her other attributes, I obviously gave her a mastermind for her strategic ability. I mean, it just feels like blasphemy giving her anything other than that. And then I kind of wasn't sure what to do with the others because I do feel like since coming back on television, she has gotten a little bit more unhinged. I love her down, but she's a little unhinged.
Anyway.
I gave her an average loyalty level, an average social skills, and an average temperament. She clearly holds grudges, as seen with Brittany, but I think she keeps it together. She doesn't show it very often, so I just gave her average. I gave her average social skills, because again, she's a little unhinged now. And I mean that endearingly. I love unhinged people. But I feel like it's like her reputation like precedes her, you know? I don't know. I don't really know how to assess her as like a current competitor because I feel like I know the BB3 and BB7 Danielle so well, but like I feel like this would it be 2025? 2024? I don't know what year this is. What year this all happened. 2023?
I don't know.
But I feel like this modern Danielle, I don't really know how to assess her quite as well. But I of course have to give her mastermind, don't worry. This is how her placements broke down. As you can see, it's a little bit across the board, but if she can make it past 6th place, she's like in a pretty good spot of making the finale. I think it's an interesting breakdown. It also makes sense to me in a weird way. So on Reindeer Games, she got 7th place. On her original season, she obviously got 2nd place, infamously, and 6th place on All Stars. Her average placement in this thought experiment was 7.26. Her mode was 7th place, which she got 18% of the time, which is a really large number to get one placement on. I've done this a lot with a lot of different things.
Y'all don't even know what I have coming up. I'm working on a winners one, but I'm not kidding. I think I'm in like the thousands for how many times I've run through the brand steel. I'm not kidding.
So I know what a significant figure is at this point, let me tell you.
Anyway.
So she got 7th place 18% of the time. Her median was 7. She only won twice, but she was in the finale 14 times, making her win percentage 14.29% of the time. I imagine it was a bitter jury. You know, we always talk about like, you know, would Danielle have won season 3 had they sequestered the jury? Perhaps this is evidence of the contrary. I don't know. I also, again, I imagine like, you know, the reputation precedes her, you know. But I was surprised that she lost in the final 2 quite as often. You think as a mastermind, they respect her a little bit more. But perhaps this cast doesn't respect a mastermind game. I don't know. She made the jury 66% of the time, and she would make the final 2 while in jury 21.21% of the time. Here is her percentage breakdown. As you can see, right after 7th place, it rockets down. So now we get into some placements that I'm pleased about. In 10th place, we have Cody of BB 16 and 22. I show here that he has a neutral relationship with Nicole Franzel. And that is because Nicole Franzel dislikes Cody. But I don't think Cody necessarily dislikes Nicole, but I do think that he knows that he screwed her over, and so he probably feels a little apprehensive towards her. So I think it's to note that Nicole Franzel's enemies are 12th and 10th place. Don't mess with Nicole Franzel. I also have him have a small bond with Frankie. Maybe it's a medium bond, I don't know. I don't know how much they've talked outside of the show, but I figure since they were in alliance and on the same season, they probably at least have a small bond. I feel like they addressed it on the season, but I don't remember, and I can't watch the season on Paramount Plus because they took it off. Bring back reindeer games, at least for the holiday season, you know. That feels a little cruel.
Anyway.
He's got great stats. I mean, like, I think Cody's kind of just like, if you were to just like create a good Big Brother player in a lab, it is Cody Calafiore, you know? So he does have pretty good stats. So I'd like to imagine that the reason why he's this far down in the ranking can only be because of Nicole Franzel, let's be honest here. I did give him great for general and beast for physical, but I gave him average for endurance and average for mental quiz. Again, I think that's more relative. I just think that there were people who were a bit better with the mental quiz stuff in reindeer games, but I also don't remember all that well.
Anyway.
As far as his other attributes go, I have great for strategic ability, I have trustworthy for his loyalty level, and I have great for his social skills. Again, I feel as though if you created him in the lab, he'd be a great Big Brother player. You know, I think the BB16 Cody is certainly like an average strategic player, but because he's been coached up by Derek so much, I think a great strategic ability is worthy of Cody. I gave him average for temperament because I think he can get fired up a little bit, but he's mostly pretty chill. Here's how his placements broke down. Clearly he's pretty like bottom heavy right here. It's not that he has okay win equity, at least if you compare it to Danielle and Brittany, but it's a little bottom heavy. It's a little bottom heavy. So on reindeer games, he did indeed get 8th place. His original season placement was 2nd and 1st. His average placement on this thought experiment was 7.39. His mode was 11th place, which he got 13% of the time, and his median was 8. He won a total of 5 times and was in the finale 10 times, making his win percentage 50%. He made the jury 66% of the time, and he would make the final 2 while in jury 15.15% of the time. Here is his percentage breakdown. Up next in 9th place, we have my least favorite house guest of all time, Cameron Hardin. When I say I very nearly boycotted reindeer games because of this man, I am not kidding. The only reason why I watched it was because I knew he got last place. I was very close to not watching it. And so I'm pleased to say that he got 9th place. Again. So Cameron obviously does not have any relationships because he went straight from the BB house into reindeer games. And so none of these people know who he is besides what they saw on television. And if I'm being real, I can't imagine they'd have that positive of an opinion on him based off of the show. But clearly I'm wrong since he won America's Favorite Player, though I'm convinced it was rigged. But that's a whole different story, isn't it?
Anyway.
Here's another tangential story about Cameron that I feel compelled to share. But back when I used to post on TikTok, which I no longer do, I did post a Big Brother related TikTok, and Cameron Hardin commented on it. And it was a nice comment. And I didn't really know what to do because it very much felt like a monkey's paw situation. It's like a Big Brother contestant acknowledges you, but it's Cameron Hardin, you know? If it was literally anyone else, I mean anyone else, I would have been ecstatic. But this man spooks me to my core, and I didn't really know how to respond.
So anyway, here are his stats. Luckily, I could kind of just base it off of what I saw in BB25 because it had just happened. So I imagine it would have been pretty similar, even though he wasn't on reindeer games for much long. I gave him Beast for general. He was very good at those carnival games, unfortunately. I gave him great for physical and great for mental quiz. I did give him average for endurance because I forgot about the pressure cooker. So I suppose I should have given him great, but my mind refused to acknowledge that. I gave him a terrible strategic ability and a terrible social skills because he was not good at this game. He was just good at the comps. I did give him a trustworthy loyalty level, And he's like kind of sociopathic. And so I gave him always calm for temperament because, again, he's like low-key sociopathic. He freaks me out. He freaks me out. Here's how his placements broke down. It's really even across the board, but he did get last place the most, clearly. So the way it kind of like evens out is like his average placement and his win equity isn't like horrible compared to Brittany, Danielle, and Cody, but he did get last place the most, which I was very pleased to see. It also reflected real life. On Reindeer Games, he got 9th. In his original season, he got 9th, I'm pretty sure. Because it was a 9-person jury. No, it was a 7-person jury. So that means he got 9th because there was the final 2. So 7 plus 9. 7 plus 2 is 9.
Now.
His average placement was 7.08. His mode was 12th place, which he got 15% of the time. His median was 7. He won 6 times, and he was in the final 2 14 times. This makes his win percentage 42.86% of the time. He made jury 70% of the time, and he would make the final 2 while in jury 20% of the time. Here's his percentage breakdown. It's pretty steady after 12th place. He pretty much got all the other stuff like at an equal amount of times. Up next in 8th place, we have Jordan. Now, if Jordan was asked to play an actual Big Brother season, I don't think she would. I think she would be very lost. In fact, I wonder if they asked her to like be on the actual cast of Reindeer Games and she was like, no, can I do something a little less competitive and just be like an elf? And that's how they started like getting the elves, was because Jordan like requested to be an elf. And then she was like, but I can only be there for 2 weeks. And so then that's how they got Tiffany and Derek X to also be elves, because she could only be there for 2 weeks. I don't know. It just feels like she was meant to be an elf, you know?
Anyway.
I did give her a slight bond with Brittany because I figured that they've talked at some point. I can't imagine she'd do very well at these comps. She wasn't like the strongest at comps in her original 2 seasons. And so I imagine with more age, she probably didn't get better. So I gave her terrible for general, physical, and endurance. And I gave her decent for mental quiz. I don't want to be too rude. She's a little ditzy, but that's why we love Jordan.
Not Jeff.
But I do love Jordan. I did give her a decent strategic ability. That's not her strong suit. I also gave her easily angered for temperament. Though I might be reflecting too hard on 20-year-old Jordan, and perhaps this older version of Jordan has toned down a bit from that. So I'm sorry, Jordan. I don't know you now. You could have changed. Very likely you have.
But this is what I did.
I did give her trustworthy and great social skills.
Go off.
Here's how Jordan's placements broke down. It's pretty varied, except she didn't win very much. So on Reindeer Games, she was an elf. She did not have a placement. She's just an elf. On her original seasons, she placed 1st and 4th place.
Very Dr. Will Kirby of her.
Her average placement was 7.03. Her mode was 4th and 11th, which she got 12% of the time. Her median was 7, and she won 2 times out of 11, making her win percentage 18.18% of the time. She made jury 72% of the time, and she would make the final 2 while in jury 15.28% of the time. Here is her percentage breakdown. And after Jordan, we have her fellow elf, Tiffany. I do think that there's a break between Jordan and Tiffany in terms of like how these people like did. So I think this starts like a new section of like, they actually did pretty decently and they have like okay win equity. But obviously it's a lot of like more of the new school. Frankly, with adding the elves, it really did help the BB23 contestants. And you'll see that later, I'm not gonna lie. Tiffany, however, does have a beef though. And so I imagine that's what hurt her here. And that is Taylor Hale. Listen, I don't keep up with a lot of postseason beef. I don't know who hangs out with who. I just know that Tiffany and Taylor don't like each other because of Kyland. And so they do have a mild dislike for each other. Perhaps it should be stronger, I don't know. I just said it as a mild dislike. She does have a medium bond with Xavier and a small bond with Derek X. They were on the same season together, and upon reflecting, perhaps she should have gotten a medium bond with Derek X. I don't know. I just set these how I saw fit. As far as her stats go, I gave her average for general and average for endurance, decent for physical, and great for mental quiz. Again, I'm trying to think relative here with like the other contestants. I also don't really remember how she performed in comps in 23.
So that's what I did.
For her other attributes, obviously, mastermind for strategic ability. Again, I feel like that's a given for Tiffany. I gave her average loyalty level. I could see her turning on some of these people, especially like post cookout where like she feels like she can actually play her own game. I feel like she would not be afraid to like turn on people, you know? I gave her great social skills. I mean, with the exception of Taylor, I think she does make the people around her like her pretty well. And I gave her average temperament because she does put her foot in her mouth sometimes. I think overall she appears very like calm and collected, but she will put her foot in her mouth. I'm not gonna lie. So I gave her average temperament. Here's how her placements broke down. 5th place is definitely the outlier here. And I'd say that she went home pre-jury a lot more than what I was expecting. But overall, it's like pretty similar. And she's got like decent win equity. So on Reindeer games, she was an elf. On her original season, she got 6th place. Her average placement was a 6.64 in this thought experiment. Her mode was 5th place, which she got 15% of the time, and her median was 6.5. She won 9 times and was in the final 2 17 times. This makes her win percentage in the final 2 52.94% of the time. She made jury 68% of the time, which means that she would make the final 2 while in jury 25% of the time. Here's what her percentage breakdown looks like. Honestly, once we hit the jury phase, it's pretty steady. And then once we hit 5th place, it gets steady again. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what the graph looks like. And up next, we have her nemesis, Taylor. I think it's fitting. I'd imagine that like on this season, they'd probably just go after each other. And so I think that's why they both got lower on these ratings than probably what they should have. And so it's just kind of a matter of like who triumphed over the other, you know? So yeah, Taylor has a mild dislike for Tiffany. And then I gave her a small bond with Josh and Xavier. I'll be honest, this was one I wasn't really sure what to do with the relationships. I knew I was gonna give her a dislike with Tiffany, but Taylor feels like she has connected with everyone, but I don't know how much of it to like keep in mind. Frankly, when I was setting this up, I was looking at it and I was kind of confused why I set a relationship with Josh in the first place.
I don't really know.
Maybe I was thinking like, Josh, the challenge, Kyland, the challenge, Taylor, Kyland, Josh, Taylor, you know? But upon reflecting, I don't really know why I did that. Frankly, I think I probably should have given her a relationship with Derek X because I do think that they're friends. Or they've hung out, I think. I do stand by the Xavier relationship though, because I do kind of think that when, like the winners that are from back-to-back seasons, I feel like they connect because, you know, there's not really anyone out there that kind of has the same experience as you. So I would imagine that Taylor and Xavier like kind of formed a bond from that. I don't know.
Anyway.
I was also trying not to set relationships with people that they haven't met yet. So I do think on Reindeer games, she mentions how like Danielle was like an idol for her because a Black woman who did successful on the show, but I don't think they had met before. So So that's why I didn't give her a relationship with Danielle. For her competition abilities, I gave her great for general and great for mental quiz. And then I gave her average for physical and endurance. This was more so based off of Reindeer games than on her season. And then for her other attributes, I gave her great for strategic, trustworthy for loyalty. I think that post 24 Taylor is like the most queen bee social person in the Big Brother world. And so I think that gives her the social butterfly status. Like if I was somewhere with Taylor Hale, I would gravitate towards her. I would not go against her because I just like her, you know? And then I gave her always calm for her temperament because frankly, for her to last in that 24 house and like not break down, I think is commendable. So I can't really give her anything besides always calm for temperament, frankly. This is how her placements broke down. I would say she decently got into like the mid jury. Like she decently got into the jury phase. I think the final two part is a little bit more questionable, but solidly in the jury, I'd say. So on Reindeer games, she got second place. She got first place in her original season. Her average placement in this thought experiment was 6.19. Her mode was third place, which she got 14% of the time. Her median was 6. She won 7 times, and she was in the final two 14 times, making her win percentage 50% of the time. She made jury 77% of the time, and she would make the final two while in jury 18.18% of the time. Here is her percentage breakdown. And up next in 5th place, we have Nicole Franzel, which if you're keeping track, yes, unfortunately, this is the highest placing woman.
I resent that.
But I do think it's fitting that it's Nicole Franzel that was the highest placing woman. So she does have a couple of relationships, and she has a couple of disliked relationships. Obviously, she has a median dislike for Brittany because of Amazing Race and Janelle and all of that messy stuff. And then I have a non-mutual mild dislike towards Cody. Perhaps that should be lower. That's just what I said it. And then she has a small bond with Frankie, and I gave her a slight bond with Josh since they won back-to-back seasons. I just said,
sure, why not?
As far as her stats go, I gave her great for general, great for mental quiz, average for physical. Maybe I should have set that as decent. I don't know. But I did give her beast for endurance because, oh my gosh, that candy cane thing that she did against Josh, that was crazy. And she was always like pretty good at endurance comps. Like she was always pretty good at the wall. So you know what, Nicole?
You earned that beast.
Ranking. Good for you. For her other attributes, I don't normally set Nicole as a mastermind whenever I do these things. I usually just set her as greats. But the way that I see it is that upon reflecting on her all-star games and all of that, I think if Nicole really wanted to play another game of Big Brother, I think she'd be so cutthroat. I think it'd be crazy. I'd be here for it. I actually would really like to see Nicole on Traders. I think that would be really fun. I'd really turn around on Nicole. I think she's fun. I think she's camp.
Anyway.
And then I gave her average for all the other stuff. I don't really know how to assess her because she's so confusing to me in her reactions to things because I feel as though people should see through them, and yet they never do. So I just gave her average for all the other stats. Here's how her placements broke down. It varies pretty much all across the board. Like she's got spikes, she's got down points, but I can't really think of anything consistent with it. So on Reindeer games, she did indeed win. I don't count it as a 2-time Big Brother win though. I think that's pushing it a little bit, but she did win. On her original seasons, she got 7th, 1st, and 3rd. Her average placement was 6.35. Her mode was 4th place, which she got 12% of the time. Her median was 6. She won 10 times and was in the final two 16 times, making her win percentage in the final two 62.5% of the time. She made jury 75% of the time, and she would make the final two while in jury 21.33% of the time. Here's what her percentage breakdown looks like. And in 4th place, we have Josh Martinez of BB19. I was really surprised he did this well. I'm not gonna lie, but good for Josh. think the challenge training probably helped him. I do have him with a slight bond with Nicole Franzel, as well as a small bond with Taylor Hale.
One of the things I was having trouble with when like setting relationships was that I kept thinking that people were closer to each other because I'd think about it and go, oh, I think I remember those two being close. And then I remember that the reason why I think those two people were close were because they were on Reindeer Games together. And so I had to think like what I thought before Reindeer Games happened.
It's all very confusing. But good for you, Josh. For his competition abilities, I gave him great for general, physical, and endurance, and then average for mental quiz. Again, I think the challenge training probably helped because I don't think I would have set this for his BB19 performance, but I do think that with the challenge training, this is all like where he would be at for all of that, you know? For his other attributes, I gave him average for strategic ability. I think you could argue it to be great, especially post BB19 with a little bit more age and maturity, but I
don't know.
I feel like he's not fully there though. But I would not argue with a great setting. I gave him average for loyalty and average for social skills, and I gave him easily angered for temperament. Mostly because, I mean, he was pretty unhinged in 19. Here is his placement breakdown. He does have some dangers in the beginning, particularly 11th and 9th place, but then he can go kind of decently far. So he's got some upside. He's got some definite upside. So on Reindeer Games, he got 6th place. On his original season, he got 1st place. His average placement in this thought experiment was 6.28. His mode was 11th place, which he got 13% of the time. His median was 6. He won 11 times, and he was in the final two 18 times. This makes his win percentage in the final two 61.11% of the time. He made jury 77% of the time, and he would make the final two while in jury 23.38% of the time. Here is his percentage breakdown. And in 3rd place, we have Frankie Grande. Honestly, I'm not surprised by this. He's got a lot of connections, and he's like weirdly good at Big Brother. Say what you want about him. He's weirdly good at Big Brother. So I gave him the slight bond connections with Brittany and Danielle because of the premiere thing. But then he also has 2 of his BB16 castmates, and Cody and Franzel. And so he's got a small bond with both of them. So he's got a good amount of connections, and they're not negative. And then in terms of his comp abilities, he's a pretty solid competition person. I don't even remember giving him the beast for mental quiz, but I think that was because when I was looking back at the competitions, he won a lot of the mental quiz comps in Reindeer Games. So I went ahead and gave him a beast. And then on top of that, I gave him great for general and great for physical. I only gave him average for endurance because I don't think he did any endurance comps in Reindeer Games. So I just didn't know what to put. So he's a pretty solid competitor. And then on top of that, for our other attributes, I think it's very fair to give him a great strategic ability. He's certainly thinking on that level more than a lot of Big Brother players, frankly. I gave him an average loyalty level. He definitely could be a little snaky sometimes, but he also sticks by the people that he does like. Like, I don't think he's like a backstabber, you know? I don't know. I gave him social butterfly because even if you, the audience, don't love him quite as much, clearly he makes the people around him love him because they tend to like him a lot. I think he's just like very outgoing and extroverted that like you can't really help but include him in things, you know? And I think that's really what the social butterfly like entails. And then I gave him usually comp for temperament because he's pretty level-headed, frankly. He's honestly just a really solid Big Brother player. So I'm not surprised that he got 3rd in all of this. Here's his placement breakdown. He had a very good win equity, that's for sure. I think his biggest danger comes from kind of the back half, and so I think that's why, in comparison to the people who got 1st and 2nd, he's third place, but really third, second, and first, they're very competitive with each other in terms of these placements because they all have pretty good win equity. But yeah, it's very interesting. So on Reindeer Games, he placed co-third place. In his original season, he got 5th. His average placement was 5.82. His mode was first place, which he got 17% of the time. His median was 6. He won 17 times, and he was in the final 2 25 times, making his win percentage in the final 2 68% of the time. He made jury 81% of the time, and his percent chance of making the final 2 while in jury was 30.86% of the time. Again, very solid, very high win equity. Here is his percentage breakdown. Honestly, very steady throughout. Very steady. And in second place, we have Xavier. And if you're keeping track, this is what I meant by the elves really help the BB23 people. Which I'm not mad about. I do like the BB23 people, so we'll take it. So Xavier does have a couple of relationships. He has a small bond with Derek X, a small bond with Taylor, and a medium bond with Tiffany, which I would imagine would help him out a good amount. You know, those are all very solid relationships that he can form alliances with. As far as his competition abilities go, he's a pretty strong competitor. I gave him Beast for General, Great for Physical, and Great for Mental Quiz. And kind of similar to Frankie, I only gave him Average for Endurance because I didn't really know what to put. So a very strong competitor. As far as his other attributes go, so I think it'd be fair to give Xavier Great for Strategic Ability. Here's my reasoning as why I gave him Average. There's certain winners where it's like, it's almost like their personhood, like who they are, is just so likable and their comp abilities are so strong that they don't really need a good strategic ability. Like I kind of put Xavier and say like Hayden and like BB16 Cody, like all in like the same camp of like, they're just so likable, they're just so good at comps, like it just kind of makes them seem better at the strategy portion than what they are, but it's because they don't really need the strategy portion. Does that make sense? So that's why I only set him as average. Don't hate me. I think he's a very good winner. He's very solid, but I just think it's not his strong suit. I am looking at the social skills and wondering why I only set him as average. I think Great would have sufficed. I do think part of the reason why I did that was because he was targeted a lot in Reindeer Games. And so perhaps I'm trying to compensate for the fact that maybe the cast that he's in isn't quite as receptive to him socially, but that might have been an oversight. I might have meant to set him as Great. I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, he ranked second, so it's okay. It's okay. I don't think changing that up would have changed things too much, if I'm being honest. So it's okay. We love Xavier, it's fine. I did give him a trustworthy loyalty level and an always calm temperament because I would trust Xavier with my life. Here is his placement breakdown. I'd say the most significant thing about Xavier's game is how little he went home in the pre-jury. I mean, if we're looking like beyond, certainly like his win equity is pretty good, but it's like kind of even with the rest of his like post-jury placements, but it's really this like bottom half. He just doesn't go home very often, so good for Xavier. So as we know in Reindeer Games, he got co-third place with Frankie. His original season placement was first. His average placement was 5.04. His mode was first place, which he got 14% of the time. His median was 5. He won 14 times and was in the final 2 27 times, making his win percentage in the final 2 51.85% of the time. He made jury 91% of the time, which is kind of crazy. That's pretty good. I will say that with like this size of cast and a 7-person jury, really all you're trying to avoid is 12th, 11th, and 10th place. So it makes sense that these people have like higher jury percentages than a lot of other games. But 91, that's still pretty good. Like you only got 12th, 11th, and 10th place 9% of the time. That's pretty good. And then his percent chance of making the final two while in jury was 29.67% of the time. Sorry. I don't work with middle schoolers anymore, and so it's not annoying to me. I'm sure if I was working at the middle school I was at, saying that would have killed me. I'm not gonna lie. I could only imagine.
Anyway.
Here's Xavier's percentage breakdown. Very solid, and then like it gets like a pretty steady downward once we kind of hit the mid-jury section. So yes, that's what Xavier has going for him. And in first place, as the most festive house guest that we have Derek X, which I should have known. With this elf costume, could anyone else have been the most festive Big Brother contestant on Reindeer Games?
I don't think so.
I should have known. Also, in hindsight, I do think that this was a really good cast for Derek X. Because I think what Derek X has like going against him is that he's always going to be like a competition threat. And so even if people like him and he's a likable guy, they're going to want to get him out just for like the comp aspect. However, I think if he's on a cast with a lot of like comp beasts, I mean, you got Cody and Frankie and Xavier and Cameron and all of that, you know, Derek X might not be like the person that you're really trying to get out at that point. So I really do think this is kind of a perfect cast for Derek. I'm not going to lie. So he does have two relationships. He has a small bond with Tiffany and a small bond with Xavier. In hindsight, I do think I should have given him at least a slight bond with Taylor, but he ranked first. So was that really going to help him anyway? Maybe to just make him even more strong.
Anyway.
I do think he's just a really solid competitor all around. I gave him great for general, physical, endurance, and mental quiz. And then for his other attributes, I just kept at a average strategic ability, kind of in the same way as Xavier, maybe a little bit less. Like, you know, he's just a likable guy who's good at comps, and so you're gonna be good at the game just from that, frankly. I think for when we're looking at BB24, it's a big factor of that is definitely that he didn't know the game at all. And he did do a pretty good job at like learning throughout. So I would be curious how his strategic ability would change coming back on the show. But I kind of imagine it'd be kind of similar to that average, personally. I gave him trustworthy loyalty level, great social skills, and always calm for his temperament. Because he just seems like a nice guy. Here is his placement breakdown, kind of similar to Xavier, doesn't get out pre-jury very often. And I think what boosted him over Xavier is that his win equity is a little bit better. He just has a little bit better of a win equity, but I do think Xavier has a better overall average placement. But this is kind of what boosted Derek over Xavier. So funny enough, the person who ranked first in this thought experiment was an elf. He wasn't even an original contestant on this show, which I mean, it's okay. Look at this elf costume. It's just fabulous. I love it. On his original season, I believe he placed 10th because he was the second jury member. And it was a 9-person jury that he was on, I think. I'm not gonna fact check myself.
Anyway.
His average placement was a 5.31. His mode was first place, which he got 16% of the time. His median was 5. He won 16 times and was in the final two 28 times, making his win percentage 57.14% of the time. He made jury 86% of the time, and he'd make the final two while in jury 32.56% of the time, which is very good. So here is Derek's percentage breakdown. And now we will get into the lists, because I ranked them in a lot of different ways. And I will try to go through this quickly. But I do think this is interesting comparing them with all the other stuff. But basically, this is all the stuff that I used to determine this ranking. When we rank them by average placement, we have Xavier, then Derek, Frankie, Taylor, Josh, Nicole, Tiffany, Jordan, Cameron, Danielle, Cody, and then Brittany. When ranking them by the amount of wins, we have Frankie in first place at 17 times, followed by Derek with 16, Xavier with 14, Josh with 11, Nicole with 10, Tiffany with 9, Taylor with 7, Cameron with 6, Cody with 5, Jordan with 2, Danielle with 2, and Brittany with 1. When I rank them by the amount of losses that they have in the final two, first place is Cody, where he lost 5 times, then Brittany, who lost 5 times, Nicole, who lost 6 times, Josh, who lost 7 times, Taylor, who lost 7 times, Frankie, who lost 8 times, Tiffany, who lost 8 times, Cameron, who lost 8 times, Jordan, who lost 9 times, Derek, who lost 12 times, Danielle, who lost 12 times, and Xavier, who lost 13 times. When ranking them by their win percentage, we start with Frankie with 68%, followed by Nicole, then Josh, then Derek, then Tiffany, Xavier, Taylor, Cody, Cameron, Jordan, Brittany, and Danielle at last place with 14.9% of the time. When ranking them by their chance of getting into juries, so this means that they lasted past 12th, 11th, and 10th place. We have Xavier at the top with 91% of the time, followed by Derek, then Frankie, then Taylor, then Josh, then Nicole, then Jordan, then Brittany, then Cameron, then Tiffany, then Danielle, then Cody. When ranking them by their percent chance of making the final two while they are in jury, we have topped off with Derek at 32.56% of the time, followed by Frankie, then Xavier, then Tiffany, then Josh, then Nicole, then Danielle, then Cameron, then Taylor, then Jordan, then Cody, then Brittany. I also included their chance of being the first boot. Did I do this so that I could highlight even more that Cameron got first boot the most amount of times? Yes. So anyway, here we have Xavier at first place, where he only got first boot 2% of the time, followed by Derek, then Josh, then Taylor, then Nicole, then Frankie, then Jordan, then Tiffany, then Cody, then Danielle, then Brittany, and Cameron got first boot 15% of the time. So then I wanted to see what their percent chance of making each placement was. This is fairly similar to what I've done in previous videos. I am only going to be addressing the first and last place person in this, because otherwise this would take a very long time. So let's get into it. So Xavier has highest chance of making the top 11 with 98%, and Cameron has the lowest chance at 85%. Xavier has the highest chance of making the top 10 at 96%, and Cody has the lowest percent chance of making the top 10 with 76%. Xavier has the highest chance of making the top 9 with 91%, and Cody has the lowest percent chance of making the top 9 with 66%. Xavier has the highest percent chance of making the top 8 at 86%, and Cody has the lowest percent chance of making the top 8 at 54%. Xavier has the highest percent chance of making the top 7 at 76%, and Brittany has the lowest percent chance of making the top 7 with 44%. Xavier yet again has the highest percent chance of making the top 6 at 68%, and Brittany also has the lowest percent chance of making the top 6 with 32%. Xavier has the highest percent chance of making the top 5 at 58%, and Brittany has the lowest percent chance of making the top 5 with 24%. We then switch it up, and Derek has the highest percent chance of making the top 4 with 49%, and Brittany has the lowest percent chance of making the top 4 with 17%. In the top 3, Derek has the highest percent chance of making it with 39% of the time, and Brittany has the lowest percent chance with 13%. Derek has the highest percent chance of making the top 2 with 28%, and Brittany has the lowest percent chance of making the top 2 with 6%. And then Frankie has the highest percent chance of winning with 17%, and Brittany has the lowest percent with 1%. When we average out all their placements here, this is what I have. It's pretty similar to just the average placements. We have Xavier, then Derek, then Frankie, then Taylor, then Josh, then Nicole, then Tiffany, then Jordan, then Cameron, then Danielle, then Cody, then Brittany. Here I have a graph of all of their percents compared to each other. Let's take a look, shall we? So, Hopefully you can see it. I will do a close-up if I need to. This is Xavier's percentage, then Derek's, then Frankie's, then Taylor, then Josh, Nicole, Tiffany, Jordan, Cameron, Danielle, Cody, and Brittany. I then also graphed out what their placements were with each percentage. So the way that I see it is like, we've got a line of safety here.
Okay.
And so when we're comparing everyone's like percentages with each other, you want to be placed above the line. That means that you're safe, essentially, because there are other people who are more likely to go home in that placement than you, okay? So I graphed out what their like placements were to see how safe they were in general with each placement. So here we have Xavier. As we can see, he's pretty safe until like second place. When you ride the line, I consider that safe, but it means you're on thin ice. But he's pretty safe until like first place, really. Derek, in a similar place, safe until first place. He's a pretty solid shoe-in for the top two. Frankie's in a bit of danger once we hit second place, but otherwise he's pretty safe throughout. Taylor starts to reach some danger once we reach about fourth place. Josh reaches danger about fourth place as well, but he kind of rides the line like seventh and sixth place. Nicole gets in danger around sixth place, it looks like. Tiffany has a little bit of trouble right at ninth place, but you know, she could make it as far as like sixth place, it seems. Jordan starts to see a bit of danger right around 8th and 7th place. Cameron is kind of in danger throughout. Good. Danielle hits her danger spot right around 9th place. Cody is pretty much in the same danger spot right at 10th place. And Brittany does okay up until 8th place. She can kind of make it to the jury and then immediately she's in danger, girl. So then I like to use this data to make my own boot order, where we take the lowest placed person and we eliminate them. And then we keep going until we find who the top two would be. And then we take the person who has the higher win percent chance in the final two, and that's the person that wins. So as you can see here, Cameron goes home first, followed by Cody, followed by Danielle, followed by Brittany, followed by Jordan, followed by Tiffany, followed by Nicole, followed by Josh, followed by Taylor, followed by Frankie, making our top two Derek X and Xavier. And because Derek X has a higher win percentage than Xavier, I would consider Derek X the winner of this theoretical boot list order that I have. Honestly, it's a good season because Cameron goes home first. That's all I really care about. Of course, I'd be disappointed by Danielle and Brittany's placements, but I will accept it as long as Cameron goes home first. So I normally end here, but then, so I came up with this other way of ranking their percentages when I was working with my winners data. When I don't know when that will come out. It's gonna take a long time. I'm just saying.
Beware.
I worry for the length of that video, I'm not gonna lie. But we'll take it as it comes.
Anyway.
So I came up with this other way where basically I take the amount of times that they go home in a given placement and I divide it by how many other placements are left. And so it kind of tells you their chance of going home in that place in comparative of like their other placements. So for example, this is going to be the easiest one to explain. So this is their percent chance of being in danger in the top 12. So Xavier went home 2 times. He has all 100 games still in use, right? So I'm taking 2 divided by 100, okay? And so he has a 2% chance of going home in the top 12. So when we look at the top 11, he's got 98 games that he's playing. And so I take the amount of times that he went home in the top 11, which I think is also 2. And so I take 2 divided by 98. And so that's his percent chance of going home in the top 11. And so then I ranked all of those together to see just like their highest chance of going home at said placement. Okay? I I think this is actually a more accurate way of looking at it than the way that I have been doing it, because it takes into account if, like, you know, you went home a lot at the beginning, but then you stopped going home. So it's a little more fair in that way. So anyway, I'm gonna do the same thing where I just list the top and the bottom person, because otherwise this would take too long. But I think it's fun.
So anyway,
Xavier has the lowest chance of being in danger in the top 12 at 2%, and Cameron has the highest percent chance of being in danger in the top 12 at 15%. Xavier has the lowest percent chance of being in danger at the top 11 at 2.04%, and Cody has the highest percent chance of being in danger at the top 11 at 14.61%. Xavier has the lowest percent chance of being in danger at the top 10 at 5.21%, and Danielle has the highest percent chance of being in danger in the top 10 at 16.46% of the time. Xavier, yet again, has the lowest percent chance of being in danger in the top 9 at 5.49%, and Brittany has the highest percent chance of being in danger at the top 9 at 18.31. We then have Nicole having the lowest percent chance of being in danger in the top 8 at 6.06%, and Brittany has the highest percent chance of being in danger at the top 8 at 24.24%. Josh has the lowest percent chance of being in danger at the top 7 at 6.89%, and Danielle has the highest percent chance of being in danger at the top 7 at 33.33%. Tiffany has the lowest percent chance of being in danger in the top 6 at 10%, and Danielle has the highest percent chance of being in danger at the top 6 at 25%. Danielle then has the lowest percent chance of being in danger at the top 5 at 11.11%, and Tiffany then has the highest percent chance of being in danger at the top 5 at 33.33%. Danielle has the lowest percent chance of being in danger at the top 4 at 8.33%, and Jordan has the highest percent chance of being in danger at the top 4 at 44.44%. Xavier has the lowest percent chance of being in danger at the top 3 at 22.86%, and Brittany has the highest percent chance of being in danger at the top 3 at 53.85%. And then this is just win percentage again, just the opposite. Frankie has the lowest percent chance of losing in the top 2 at 32%, and Danielle has the highest percent chance of losing in the top 2 at 85.71%. So then I averaged out all of their placements in this, where we have Xavier, then Derek, then Frankie, then Josh, then Nicole, then Tiffany, then Taylor, Danielle, Cameron, Jordan, Cody, and Brittany. But I also arranged it so that I just averaged out all of their percentages with all of these placements. And it did change it slightly. That being that Derek is now in first instead of Xavier, and I believe Nicole and Tiffany switch places. So Tiffany has like a lower percent chance of being in danger per placement than Nicole. So if we're kind of looking at this, it's like Derek has a 11.628% chance of going home at any given placement, just on average. And Brittany has a 23.341% chance of going home at any given placement on average. And I think that's really interesting.
anyway.
So of course, I have a graph of this as well. Keep in mind, this is a little bit different because it's not like showing progress. It's kind of independent of each placement, really. And so if we think about it, the higher percentage that you have, the more likely you are to go home in that given place. The lower percentage that you have, the less likely you are to go home in any given place. And so I think what's really helpful to think about this is comparing it to all the other people around them, because that's really what's going to tell them how likely they are to go home in that place. So let's look at them. So here we have Xavier. You can kind of see it behind all of them, but he has a very low percent chance of going home comparatively to others. And then we have Derek X. It seems like 9th place seems to be his biggest source of danger, but otherwise it's like pretty low and steady. Here we have Frankie. 8th place seems to be his biggest kind of spike here, besides like 3rd place. Taylor, she spikes up with 6th place and 3rd place. Josh has pretty low point here around 7th and 6th place, but he does spike a little in 11th and 9th. Nicole spikes up with 6th place and in 4th place. Tiffany spikes up in 5th place. Jordan spikes up in 4th place. Cameron's pretty steady all throughout, honestly. Like, he's kind of just at the same point of danger throughout. Like, he doesn't really have a point where he spikes up. Danielle's graph is fascinating to me because it seems as though she's either completely safe or in so much danger, like throughout the entire show. And I feel as though that's very fitting for Danielle, if I'm being honest. Like, I think she would fluctuate between like running the game and being like completely safe and being the target constantly. Cody, he's kind of at a similar point of danger throughout. And then like clearly as we get further on in the season, it just gets bigger and bigger. And then Brittany, she starts off pretty okay, but then once we hit 9th place, she's just kind of the most in danger. 4th place, she's dips down a little bit, and so that's probably like one of her safer points, but she just is kind of in danger once jury hits. And then naturally, I also have their placement graph as well. Now this one's a little more complicated because it's harder to tell if they are actually in danger when they are below the line, because there's a much greater chance that someone else who hasn't been below the line is like further than them. What you could think is that if they're at this 13th place line, they're like for sure going home, basically. But in general, if you're above the line, you're doing pretty good. If you're slightly below the line, you might be in danger, but you're not like about to go home necessarily. But if you're really below the line, you're not in a good place. So here we have Xavier in a pretty safe place until 5th place, in which he's in a little bit of danger. If he can make it past 3rd place, he's in a pretty good spot. Derek X does really well, except there is a dip here in 8th place. That seems to be where he'd be the most in danger. So if he can make it past 8th place, he's pretty solidly in 3rd place at least. Frankie again has another danger point at 7th place, and then otherwise he's pretty good until making it to the top 2. Taylor's safe right up until she reaches 5th place, in which that's where danger seems to strike her. Josh is a little all over the place. 10th and 8th place are clearly points of contention, but other than that, he's pretty safe until 4th place. Nicole seems to ride the line up until 3rd place, where clearly she's gonna go home, but she actually does a pretty good job up until 3rd place. Tiffany's all over the place, frankly. She's got some points of danger at 9th place, at 6th place, and at 4th place, and doesn't really recover post 4th place, but just certainly some danger points, you could say. Jordan does okay up until 7th place, and then she's kind of mostly in danger. Like maybe if she can make it to 7th place, she can at least solidly get into 5th place, but really not guaranteed. Cameron is, obviously he's got that 11th place mark on him, really has an unlikely time getting to 11th place. However, if he can probably at least get to 7th place, but then it's kind of iffy for Cameron. Again, Danielle is just all over the place. 9th place and 6th and 5th place are clearly danger points for her, but if she can survive 9th, 6th, and 5th, she might be able to make it to 3rd place. It's kind of all over the place though. Cody is pretty much in danger once we reach 10th place. He doesn't have much of a chance. And Brittany is pretty much in danger once we reach 9th place. Once we hit the jury, Brittany doesn't have much of a chance, really. So then, yet again, we're gonna be creating a boot order based off of these percentages. So Cameron will go home first as 12th place, and then Cody will go home as 11th, Danielle will go home in 10th, Brittany will go home at 9th, Jordan will go home at 8th, Tiffany will go home at 7th, Taylor will go home at 6th, Josh will go home at 5th, Nicole will go home at 4th, Frankie will go home at 3rd, making our top 2 yet again, Derek X and Xavier. And because Derek X has a higher win percentage, yet again, he would be the winner of this theoretical boot list. Now, this is very similar to my original one. The only difference is that Nicole and Taylor switch places. But I will say, having done this with my winners data, this does make a difference actually. So I will be doing this in future stats videos, and they should show a bigger difference than this, hopefully. I do think it's interesting though. And so using all of those lists, I have my ultimate rankings, which is what I already went through. So this isn't like very suspenseful, but this gives us Brittany at 12th, Danielle at 11th, Cody at 10th, Cameron at 9th, Jordan at 8th, Tiffany at 7th, Taylor at 6th, Nicole at 5th, Josh at 4th, Frankie at 3rd, Xavier at 2nd, and Derek X as the first and most festive Big Brother player of all time. And I guess I'm done now. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you've learned who the most festive Big Brother player is. I hope this made you miss Reindeer games and it will make you petition CBS to bring it back. We want it back, CBS. Please. I miss you, Reindeer games. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Bye.